welcome to the Amateur Reviews brought to you by Zandria Studios. This is for Walking Dead Season 6 for Episode 1, and obviously we're just all here very sad, kind of depressed. Negan finally killed someone. Well, 2 people. And if you didn't know, this was spoilers. So, if you haven't watched this episode, that's your fault. Go watch it, or if you don't care about spoilers, then cool, you're like this kid who just likes to spoil the hell out of himself. So let's talk about this. We're going to go through our pros, our cons, and then say what we expect, and maybe how sad we are, and what we predict for the rest of the season. So, Melissa, what were your pros for this?
Honestly, I don't think there's any pros to this. I think there's all just fucking cons, and I hate it. Honestly, I feel like Negan literally went inside of me, ripped my heart out, and beat the living shit out of my heart right now, because that's how sad I feel right now. And I was expecting a certain person to die. Wait, this is a spoiler, right?
Yeah, this is
okay, so
spoiler,
I expected Abraham to die. Did not expect him to turn around and fucking kill Glenn like that. I didn't really care about Abraham. Really didn't. But for him to turn around...
Suck my nuts.
For him to turn around and kill Glenn, all I can think about is going back to Season 1. Literally, he was one of the first main characters on there, and that was just... I want to cry, and... I don't know what's gonna happen now. It just makes me so sad. I'm mad.
So Cory, I know you just kind of binge watched and caught back up.
Yeah.
How do you feel after just finally? What did you do? You just caught back up like what, last week?
Yeah.
So how do you feel now? Like you didn't have to wait too long. Like was it worth the wait for what you had to wait? Like was the worth?
Well, I waited like 2 weeks.
So was it worth the wait for you?
Oh yeah, it was.
Like I mean, because when Abraham was killed, you kind of sat there and you're like, oh, like a sigh of relief, and you kind of laughed and chuckled, like suck my nuts, like what the hell? I mean, we all know Abraham always has the best things in there. But when that happened, and then when he turned around and hit Glenn, I remember looking at your face, and your jaw just dropped. And you and me kept looking back at each other like,
yeah, because she's after he killed Abraham, she's like, oh, woo, pew. I'm glad it wasn't Glenn. And then I had to look at you because we already knew what happened.
We pretty much saw the leak. It happened, but she didn't know anything about it.
I had to suspect something that it has to be something bigger. But like when Abraham I don't care that much. And I'm like, thank God it's not Glenn.
They just made it worse.
But then I thought it was going to be Daryl because of his whole spew on him just punching. Oh, God. And honestly, what I can say right now, I love Daryl with passion, but I'm pretty pissed at him because if he wouldn't have gone up, Glenn would have still been alive.
The thing about this episode is that each character is going to blame themselves for something. Rick's going to blame himself for going and killing all those people and working with Hilltop. Maggie's going to be...
It's all Glenn's fault.
It's not Glenn, it's Rick.
How's it Glenn's fault?
It's Rick's...
I meant Rick. I don't know why I said Glenn.
I wouldn't even say it's their fault.
They're
going to blame themselves because overall, it was their fault. It's like...
Well, it's not everybody's fault. It's Rick's fault
in reality, they're all going to blame themselves for something that they could have done. I mean, Rick's going to blame himself for, I shouldn't have done this. Maggie's going to blame herself for doing this and getting pregnant. That's a joke, but... And then, I mean, you have Eugenie's going to blame himself thinking he messed up. Everyone's going to blame themselves except a couple of the people.
Like Michonne.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything.
And I mean,
I just literally
my pros for this episode was, I thought it was really cool, like, just seeing Negan more. I mean, we get to learn more about Negan, where he's the villain that you hate to love, but at the same time, you just despise the man with all a passion. And I mean, do you like Negan?
Yeah, I love him. I don't think there's anything bad about him.
I think he's the perfect actor to play. I'm so happy that Jeffrey D. Morgan played Negan. I think he's perfect. I hate him so much, but I love him at the same time.
And I also gotta say, this is probably the best acting from the whole cast. Even though most of them didn't say anything, just the size and the faces.
Rick's crying when he's about to chop off.
I mean, it can kind of be a chuckle at the sense, but it's just nervousness because you're like, wow, is it really gonna happen? I mean, you really thought that he was gonna get. You started looking at your phone. I was legit
once he cut off his arm.
You really thought
I wasn't gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it.
I didn't. Well, yeah, I thought
about to walk
because
out.
There were spoilers on the internet that said that was gonna happen. So I was like, oh crap, it's really gonna happen. But the thing that killed all the seriousness was whenever Rick had the snot bubble.
Yeah,
that kind of killed it for me. I started wanting to laugh.
I barely paid attention. I was more just like, wow, I can't believe this happened. Now, since we talked about our pros, did you guys enjoy the scene when Negan took him on the car ride? Like, did you guys like that, or do you wish it was kind of just cut, paste, killed him, that's it?
I think it was. I liked it.
Or do you think it makes sense for him to take him? I mean, Negan was pretty much just bullying him. Like, for me, I liked it, but then I didn't. I felt like it wasn't necessary to have that whole thing of him just moving around, kind of driving through the RV and stuff, and taking him to kill the zombies. I mean, it probably The Walking Dead symbolizes a lot of stuff, like from a lot of the other episodes with the look at the flowers and other things like that. But
the whole RV thing was kind of pointless, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was
because after the
I feel
RV
like it was
thing,
a lot of filler.
It didn't change anything,
no.
and then once he did the whole Carl arm
once he did the Carl
thing, that's when stuff started changing.
And I think a lot of this episode was they had to show us, but they didn't want to get right to it and blow their load all completely and show us who died right away. Right. They wanted to try and sneak it in there, and I liked Rick flashing back and stuff. But at the same time, it was like, I wish it would have just opened with eeny, meeny, miny, mo, bang, and then take him from there.
Well, they have to kind of keep you entertained. Yeah.
And I understand that, but I wish they would have just done more. Like, I would have liked to see where they go. I think this episode, as much as it was something that continued where we last left off, it also was a filler episode at the same time, because it was kind of just like, there's not a lot, it was pretty much just two scenes, if you really think about it. It's two scenes of him killing someone and Rick and him in an RV. I think the thing that RV did was it really just showed us more of how big of a dick of Negan was.
I don't even think it was that. I think they just did the whole RV thing to kind of like, okay, they just killed one big character and then one kind of medium character, and then they like got you all hyped up, and then they wanted you to like kind of cool down.
Yeah.
And then suspense you again and get you like, holy shit, like he's about to kill or cut off Carl's arm to kind of get you going, calm down, get you going.
That scene was great because it really kept you on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh my god, is he actually going to do this? Is he going to do it? And like I said, Negan, he has some of the best lines in this. He's pretty much the new Abraham. I think we can all say that. He's pretty much going to.
Well, he's like an Abraham and like a Rick. He's a leader, but
yeah. And I mean, for people who like hate Negan all the time, you really have to think. If you really watch back, if you were in Negan's position and you just saw that all your people just died, you'd be pretty pissed too. As pissed off as freaking.
Well, it's not even that he was mad. It was he was mad, obviously, but he just wanted to show like, hey, you can't fucking do that. Kind of like how Rick was like, I'm gonna kill you, or not today, not tomorrow. He was trying to show like, hey, you can't fuck with me. So that's what Negan was trying to do.
And for people who read the comics, they don't read the comics. I do, so they don't really know what's gonna happen. I kind of have suggestions to it. So when the next segment that we're getting to is pretty much just predictions. I'm going to try and just be kind of cool about it because I have my own predictions that I really do think are going to happen. What about you? What are your predictions, Melissa?
I'm not really sure. Like, watching this episode, I'm just like, I was telling you, I'm like, well, what happens now? Like, okay, they killed Abraham and they killed Glenn. They literally, like, killed off one of the main people. Like,
this is the first time that they've actually killed two main characters super fast. Last season, no one really died. If you really think about it, not a single character died. Almost, except Danae, the nurse girl, the lesbian girl, and that was really it. Like there wasn't a lot of characters that died last season.
Well,
which one?
Beth.
Yeah, Beth.
No, Beth didn't die last season. That was the season before that.
Was it?
It was like far ago.
That was before it. That was before Morgan came. That was the season that Morgan came back. It was right after the cannibals. Yeah.
That's what happens when you watch Netflix.
Yeah, so
I just watched them all. Yeah, it all goes together because I just watched.
So, like, what do you think's gonna happen? What would you like to see besides Negan dying?
Well, I
wouldn't want Negan.
Honestly,
to die.
I don't want him to die. Like,
unless there's like a huge like.
Well, I want to know what's gonna happen with Negan. Like, are they gonna have a war when they go to the kingdom? They're all gonna like fight, or like. How is he even gonna die? What's gonna happen? Or if he's gonna disappear. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's not gonna disappear.
I don't
know. What about
you?
What do you think?
I think what will happen was since Carol and Morgan, they went and they seen the kingdom, right?
Yeah,
they're with the kingdom now. Yeah, they're with the kingdom now.
Aren't they?
And those are gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see Ezekiel and
She-Hulk.
And
since that's like a shit ton of people, and then you have Negan's group over there. Obviously, Carol and them are going to come back eventually and be like, hey, we found these people or whatever, since Morgan's trying to get Carol back to Alexandria. And then I think they're going to meet, they're going to meet Negan, and Carol and Morgan are going to find out about Negan, and then they're going to be like, hey, Rick, there's the kingdom, and then they're going to go with the kingdom, and then they're going to plan, and then there's going to be a big spew between the kingdom and Negan. You want to know something?
I think since Rick got broken down so much, I have a feeling that Maggie is going to take the leadership role of Alexandria, mostly. I think she's going to take that leadership role. Or, we saw last season when she was talking to Gregory, she was becoming that political leader that Danae was. And I think Maggie's going to take that. And I think the second Carol and Morgan come back and they're like, look at the people we found, look at the people we met, Maggie's going to be like, that's our people that we're going to go to war with. And I think overall, with the whole Daryl thing, that's going to be a little different since that Daryl's not in the comics. It's going to be really interesting to see him and Dwight. But honestly, I don't think Dwight's a bad guy.
I don't think so either.
I think he's just put in the wrong group, wrong situation, and I think we're gonna come to like.
He has to stay with them to survive.
And I think we're gonna come to like Dwight later on. I mean, there's other characters like we used to. Merle was kind of that asshole character, but when he kind of joined the group, I kind of liked Merle when he joined the group. As big of a dick he was, it was really cool seeing him. And I mean, it's just this is The Walking Dead, and this is what they do. Last season was a lot of teases, and then they would sometimes get to the big glory, just let it all out at once, just big fest. And I really hope this season, I hope it doesn't have a lot of filler episodes where it's just slow down pace. We'll have a big episode, and then you have an episode where Morgan's learning to feed a cow or something like that. Like, if they do that, I like that episode, but I hated where they put it. They put it right after Glenn died. Well, now he is dead.
Right.
But I mean, we can all say Glenn's not going to crawl under a trash can, right?
They were
not going to crawl under a trash can.
I feel like they were going to go kill him when that episode came on, and then they're like, oh shit, we can't do it yet. We have to leave it suspenseful. So then they brought him back somehow, and then they're like, well, since it's the end, we should kill him.
Yeah,
now.
and I think this is the thing that The Walking Dead is great. Is if you really think about it, when they kill someone, it furthers someone in a different direction for a character arc. And I think these two deaths really further. I think it's going to further Rosita and Sasha. And I mean, we saw Sasha come out after Tyrese died. She became more of one of those main players, but I think this is going to affect her a lot. And then Rosita, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of Rosita. I think she's going to... I mean, we don't really see a lot of her in this,
That's
but
true.
More in the comics, she's kind of out there. And especially after that whole thing with Abraham happened, she actually does come more into her place. So I'm actually hoping to do that with the show as well. And I think that's the best thing about The Walking Dead is they try to give each character their lair.
What do you think's going to happen with Eugene? Like, you see him in the episode, kind of
like he's gonna change too. I think
bawling and crying. Like, do you think he's gonna change and be like, okay, I failed him in a way. I failed Abraham, so I need to step up my game.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think that whole bullet plan that he had last. I think that's gonna come in handy for whatever war they go into.
Probably like
maybe
the
it was
Kingdom.
Like foreshadowing.
Oh, probably. Like, think about it. 'Cause he brought that up. He knows how to make this stuff. It's literally, think about this. If the Kingdom gets him there and he can make these bullets, they're going to like
use them.
Because think about this. If Negan, as much supplies as he probably has, we don't know how big his base is. And people who've read the comics,
we've only seen like a glimpse of what
I mean, we saw that one base, and they thought that was his main thing. They killed Negan, but it wasn't. And
so obviously he has multiple different bases.
He's huge, and you have to think how many other groups could be with this guy. Like he was working with the Hilltop, and he's probably
he's with Alexandria.
Yeah. Now
there's obviously multiple other things, so maybe maybe we'll get to like meet different smaller factions.
Probably.
That
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's feeding off of.
Now, I think The Walking Dead, I really like this first episode. There were some things I think they could have cut out and just didn't need in there. They could have written
like
better.
The RV.
Yeah, the whole RV thing, I think that was more of just filler.
Yeah.
And I understand why they had it in there, so we can get more of a taste of Negan. So it wasn't like, okay, Negan killed him, bye. But at the same time, I wish they would have kind of just done more with that whole sequence. Maybe Negan takes him to the Hilltop and dropped them off, and they're like, there you go, bye. Tells them what happened, tells them not to go after them again.
Something
because if you think about it, the Hilltop kind of made a deal with them to go after Negan. But I think now we all know how Negan's not someone to fuck with. And he's not, for me, he's not the governor. The governor, for me, was very...
He was more low. He had one base.
Yeah, like
I didn't like him at all.
As crazy as
he was more
he
like...
seemed more crazy.
He was crazy creepy.
Yeah.
Negan's
more creepy.
Negan's more like badass, straight to the point, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, he's Rick. He's Rick and Abraham, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else to say? Any other predictions? Anything else you guys want to say about this episode, or where you hope this season will go?
I don't have anything to say. Like, I've literally been
sweating
the whole time.
I feel like it's going to go the way that I kind of thought it was going to go. With Carol coming back, and then the meetings, and...
Do you think that since they're going to, like, find out, like, all of his other bases, like, they're going to secretly all get together, since there's going to be a lot more people?
But you never know. What if those people do like him?
Oh,
yeah,
that's the thing.
Is
there's going to be some people. Well, there's going to be some.
It's kind of
not that they
it's gonna
like
be campaigning. It's going to be campaigning. Join us, we'll get rid of him.
Well, it's not even that. It's going to be the fact that it's not going to be some people like Negan in these bases.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be some of them are too scared to fight against them.
No.
So they might do that. They might get all the factions
people
together and be like, "Oh yeah, let's fight against them." And then there could be like that one scared, person that's like runs to Negan. Hey, they're gonna try and kill you, and it's gonna fuck everything up.
And I think this is a big thing for The Walking Dead that they also need to do is I hope they don't do this where they have a big episode and then they throw it to one of those smaller episodes. That I don't mind, but it's how they place them. Like the Morgan one, if they would have placed it better. I actually want a Negan episode where we see where Negan started out, right in the past,
really cool.
And then kind of flip-flop through different things. Like, if anyone's read whoever watches this, if you've ever read the Governor's past book where it started right before the apocalypse happens, pretty much where he ended at, I wish they would have done that in the show because it showed so much more to the Governor. And it actually made me appreciate the character more, but I think that's something that they should do for Negan, because as mysterious Negan is, there's really nothing we know about him from the comics. You just kind of know of him as, right now, as being this asshole dude that you just want to kill.
The leader of everyone.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe he's like Donald Trump. Right?
Right.
I mean, yeah,
But, or the Purge, or whoever crazy dictator you could think of. I mean, Castro and stuff. But he's not crazy.
He's like South Korea.
Pretty much. He's half of everything. But no, I think this was a great start for Walking Dead. It's not the best episode they've had. It had a big twist in it with Glenn dying, and just that scene of when you see him turn around and just bang, just
and
smack
then his eye comes popping out,
his eye.
and then he's just like,
That's
Maggie, I'll find you.
The eye thing didn't get to me. It was the Maggie, I'll find you type of thing.
And then he was gargling on his own blood, and it's just Maggie's losing so many people.
Yeah, and the face that when it flashes back to everyone's face, it wasn't the fact of them dying; it's the actors portraying their face. You see Rosita, Sasha when Abraham died.
How they're hurting and everything.
And as Abraham died, it was like, oh god, that sucks. But with seeing them two face, it kind of made it really sad. Like, feeling bad for them. Mm-hmm. And that's a great thing, is each actor really embodies these characters. And it's going to be really exciting to see where they go this season. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the Kingdom. I hope Carol and Morgan get their shit together and fucking actually do things. They can't screw around with these guys and not kill them.
Well, they can't. They have to start killing again. That's why I don't like Morgan, and I don't like Carol.
I told you, he kills. But I'm telling you, it's going to get better. But I hope that. But this is where we're going to end, guys. Now, if you guys want to keep watching this, feel free to subscribe and like. Melissa, where can they find you? On Twitter, Instagram?
I'm everywhere.
Facebook,
Twitter,
Snapchat,
Instagram, Snapchat.
And I mean, you guys can find me at Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everything. You also follow our YouTube channel, Zandria Studios, for some short films that we're making. And our Twitters, mine's Poke the King. Yours, what? That Car
King 1995. On literally everything.
Yeah, and Poke the King, and then Zach Poke, 2 H's for each other thing as well. Instagram, Snapchat. What do you have?
I think my Instagram's like Melissa Flanny. And my Instagram is like,
I mean, you can find her on all of our pages as well if you can't see the phone.
And then
like literally my name.
Yeah. And then Zandria Studios has an Instagram, but it's Zandria Studios. It's the same.
You'll find it on there.
Yeah, you'll find all of us.
You'll also find it in the link below. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe, like I said, if you guys did this.
The episode.
And I hope, were you guys sad? Let us know. Comment down below. If you guys do these kind of recaps, we'd love to talk to you guys and let us know what you guys thought of this. Maybe you weren't sad that Glenn died. I mean, if you weren't, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. But besides that...
Well, some people might not like Glenn.
I like Glenn.
Well, everybody likes Glenn, but there's always that one person that's
gonna comment and be like,
fuck Glenn.
Fuck
I'm so happy.
I can't believe you guys like Glenn. He's a fucking guy.
Well, I've seen some posts on Twitter and Facebook that they really were in deep thought that Rick was gonna die.
I didn't.
And I'm like, how?
No,
did you not see the preview?
I'm done.
Of the next?
Done. Yeah, done. This is dumb.
And if you like more of these little, reviews on that season or that episode, let us know in the comments below. We want to do more for each episode.
And we're gonna try and get together. It's hard with work, but we're gonna really try and get together. I mean, if we don't do it the night of, we'll do it the next day of, or something like that.
We'll always find time.
But like we said, this is our amateur recap of The Walking Dead Season 6. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to look out for very much more. I can't wait to see this. And I'm pretty sure I meant Season 7 instead of Season 6.
Yeah, I was thinking, it was a little bit of Season 6.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of this had flashbacks to Season 6, so I mean, we can say that.
Pretty good.
But Season 7, Episode 1, that's it, guys. Have a great rest of your guys' night. I hope you guys don't cry yourself to sleep.
Don't dream about this too much.